And welcome back to another episode of PC419. MSI have sent us the MPG Z390 Gaming Edge motherboard. It is the AC edition as well. I've got to say, this is probably one of our top tier boards we've had for 2019 so far. I did promise you guys a bit more content this year, so hopefully this is suited for you if you're going to be purchasing a Z390 board. But let's go through what's inside the box. So what's inside the box comes with the user guide for the Z390 motherboard. Also, it's got let's have a look here. So it shows the graphics card series and the new monitors they've got out, the Optics MPG as well here, so a bit of a read. Also has, looks like an RGB extender cable, but it is non-addressable, about probably 30 centimeters. It's got the drivers and utilities. Please download them directly from MSI because there'll be updates from this CD. I wish MSI would bring out a USB version, but CD is in there anyway, just in case you do need it and you don't have, obviously, internet at the time. The CD will come in handy. And if you've got well, like I said, I would prefer if they had USBs because most people today, actually, I don't even know who actually has a CD drive in their computers anymore. So unless you're going to go buy an external, that will still work. Also has the AC, obviously, antennas, because this is a Wi-Fi board, so it comes with 2 antennas as well. It also comes with a quick installation guide for your CPU and CPU heatsink. What's in here? It looks like the M.2 screws, which I'm pretty sure they are on the board, but they give you 2 spare screws just in case. It's got 2 SATA cables, pretty standard there. Also too, it looks like this is cable management stickers from MSI. So it's for your SATA cable, so you can actually identify which SATA cable does what. So if you've got multiple hard drives, you can label your obviously one side of the SATA cable to drive A, for example, or drive B, and you'll label it on the other side so you can identify this off the board. That's actually not a bad idea from MSI. Also has the backplate, which is obviously the IO backplate. It is black accent with red writing on it and has got the MSI logo there as well. Comes with a case, looks like a case sticker there, pretty cool. It's got an SLI bridge. Yep, it's an SLI bridge from NVIDIA. And not least, we've got the register, so you can just register your product from MSI. That's actually not too bad at all. Let's put this to the side for the moment and let's have a look at the board. So looking at the board here, MSI brought out something very, very nice again for the Z390 series. It is a black accent board with a ton load of I/O and fan connectors I can see on here. It is running the LGA 1151 socket as well, so it does support 9th gen and 8th gen CPUs. Looking at around here, so graphics card wise, I can see here it's got 3 PCI connectors running at 3.0 and they can run in different configurations as well. So you can run them at times 16, times 0 or times 4, or you can run them at times 8, times 8, times 4 as well modes. Also has 3 PCI 1 slots and also too, this can be configured in 2-way or 3-way SLI and Crossfire. So AMD support, which is actually pretty good. You've got on the back here, obviously you've got your ports at the back, so it does have your HDMI, it's got your display here, it's got 2 USB 2.0, has a PS2 port, USB-C, 3 USB 3.1, yes it is. It's got your gigabit LAN, also too has your Wi-Fi AC, your Intel Wi-Fi AC as well, your audio, and obviously your optical as well. Now going to the memory. Also, it does support 4 DIMMs. It's in dual channel and it's running DDR4, and it can be overclocked to 4,400 megahertz, which is absolutely fantastic. Going to the M.2 slots now. So now this does support 2 M.2 and also supporting Intel Optane as well. And now it can run, it looks like it's got 6 SATA ports on here as well, running at 6 gigabit connections and a USB 3.1 Gen 2 plus 6 USB 3.1 Gen 1, which is also absolutely fantastic, and 6 times USB 2.0 as well on this motherboard. Now going back to the LAN, so it runs an Intel 1219-V gigabit LAN and also has the wireless AC 9462, but also has, being wireless, it's got Bluetooth 5.0. And going back to the audio, it has 8 channel 7.1 HD with Audio Boost 4, sorry I should say. Now, the extended heatsink design on the MSI, the extended heatsink design, MSI has extended a PWM and enhanced circuit design to ensure maximum cooling for this motherboard as well. So let's dive in a little bit more onto this motherboard itself. So it does have 11-phase VRM circuit designed to ensure even high-end processors to run in full speed. So the extended cooling on this motherboard itself, so to cool these VRMs, looks like MSI have extended the heatsink a bit higher to allow more airflow to go through the actual heatsink itself. So going to the core boost with premium layout and fully designed digital power design to support more cores and better performance for your CPU. So on this board here, we will be running the i9 9900K. Really can't wait to put that in. Obviously now Mystic Lighting, MSI do have Mystic Lighting on pretty much all their products now, even from their monitors to the motherboards, video cards, so it's all supported. So Mystic Lighting has RGB LED personalized your PC with 16.8 million colors with 29 effects controlled with one click using Mystic Lighting. Going to the M.2, so it does have two M.2 slots. Now you can have, obviously you can run Intel Optane on this as well. But going back to your standard M.2s, it has two M.2 slots running at PCIe Gen 3 × 4 to maximize your performance on NVMe-based SSDs. Going to the audio, so according to the spec sheet here, it does have Audio Boost 4. It's isolated audio with 120 decibel with 24-bit quality audio to process all your obviously audio needs, and it does give you a better immersive gaming as well. Intel Turbo USB 3.1 has Gen 2 powered by Intel to ensure interrupted connection with your stability and fastest USB speeds. And then it's got an easy debug LED for easy troubleshooting on the motherboard if you do happen to have, which hopefully you don't. But going further onto this, obviously it's got 4 DIMM slots on here. You've got your main power connector, your 24-pin. It does have 2 CPU power as well, so it's got one 4-port and it's got an 8-pin as well here as well, just for better overclocking, especially on the i9s. Let's go back to the SATAs. It's got 6 SATA ports on here as well. It's got your USB 3.1 for your front header. It's got a massive amount of looks like your case fan. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So your CPU, 7. Looks like it's got 7 on here. Look, that's absolutely fantastic. It's got a few RGB headers as well. But best thing is, let's just get this straight into a case, power it up. Let's see what the i9 can do. It will be cooled down using the Master Liquid ML240R from Cooler Master. So we'll cool that down with that. And we're using the G.Skill Trident Z RGB. This is running at 3200 megahertz. We've got 32 gig of that. And then we'll be grabbing this, the MSI Duke 2080. Let's see how it all performs. Let's go straight into the case. This motherboard is an ATX size board with a 1151 socket with Intel's latest Z390 chipset supporting Intel's latest i9 processors. Looking at the CPU power connectors, MSI have fitted an 8-pin and a 4-pin 12-volt power connector to give you sufficient power delivery to the VRMs and CPU socket to give your processor a clean, stable overclock. MSI have not gone over the top with the VRM cooling, but look sufficient enough to keep the MOSFETs cool to give the chokes and capacitors clean power to the CPU socket. This board can support up to 4 memory modules and is capable of 120 gig of RAM. Memory speeds start from 2133 MHz right up to 4400 MHz on an overclock. So the board also houses 3 x 16 PCI slots, which are PCIe Gen 3, and also has 3 PCIe 1 slots, which is also PCIe Gen 3. The graphics support supports 3-way AMD Crossfire and 2-way NVIDIA SLI. So now for storage, it has 6 SATA ports with the speeds ranging up to 6 gigabits per second, and also has 2 M.2 slots that can be used with Intel's Optane memory modules. Now MSI do recommend before using the Intel Optane memory modules, please ensure that you have updated drivers and BIOS to the latest version from the MSI website. Now going to RAID support for this motherboard, it also supports 0, 1, 5 and 10. Now going on to the LAN port, the Z390 Gaming Edge is equipped with Intel's latest LAN chip, which is the 1219-V. This is also equipped with Intel's wireless AC 9462 card with 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz, reaching up to 433 megabits per second, and has inbuilt Bluetooth 5. So looking at the audio chip, it is by Realtek, which is supporting the ALC1120P codec. And as always, MSI is using the MSI Audio Boost 4 software to enhance your audio needs. So looking at the front case connectivity, it has USB front headers for USB 2.0 and USB 3.1 support, and also supports the stereo audio mic input. The Gaming Edge also supports up to 6 case fans and also has RGB ports to support your MSI Mystic Lighting RGB. So some of the key features this MPG Z390 Gaming Edge motherboard does have. It also has the extended heatsink design with MSI's extended PWM enhanced circuit design, ensures high-end processors to run at full speed. Has MSI's core boost with premium layout and full digital power design to support multi-cores and provide better performance. Also has Mystic Lighting from MSI as well, so personalise your PC with 16.8 million colours with 29 effects controlled with one click. Also has twin turbo M.2, so giving you Gen 3 x 4 maximised performance NVMe based SSDs. Also has Audio Boost 4 to isolate audios with high quality audio processors for the most immersed gaming experience. Has Intel Turbo USB 3.1 Gen 2, so powered by Intel, ensures the uninterrupted connection with more stability and fastest USB speeds as possible. Also has DDR4 Boost advanced technology to deliver the pure data signals for the gaming best performance and stability when overclocking. And it also has Easy Debug LED, the easiest way to troubleshoot any issues you have with your motherboard. So let's take a look at the MSI UEFI BIOS. In front of us, as you can see here, it is in easy mode and it's showing pretty much the basic settings of the motherboard itself and showing what the motherboard's currently doing. So we have on here, we've got Game Boost, XMP, which is for your RAM, for your DDR RAM. It shows all your current settings. So we've currently got the CPU overclocked to 5 GHz, which is the i9 9900K. The DDR speed is currently running at 3200 MHz because we have XMP profiles on. CPU temperature is currently at 51 degrees, which is sitting at an idle. Motherboard temperature is sitting at 46, and the BIOS mode, which is in UEFI or Legacy. And then it shows you the motherboard, which is the MPG Z390 Gaming Edge, the Intel CPU, which is the i9 9900K, and then the memory size at 32 gig. So we've currently got our VCore at 1.336 volts, and the DDR voltage is 1.368, which is standard. Then it's got your BIOS version and the BIOS build date. Also shows it's what the bit priority is, so you can actually rearrange the bit priority if you'd like. And then here you've got your settings, overclock, your RAM flash, just to upgrade the firmware of the motherboard. So your overclock profile, so if you want to save the current profile you currently have on here, your hardware monitor and board explorer. So we'll start off with settings. So system status shows you the current status of the actual motherboard itself, BIOS version and what currently everything's sitting at. Then you got your advanced, which brings up your PCI subsettings, your AC PI settings, integrated graphics and configurations, Intel Thunderbolt, USB, Super I/O configurations, your power management setup, your Windows OS configuration, your wake up event setup, and secure erase. And then you got your boot menu. So you can actually set, well, we've got a bit priority up here, but you can actually set this up how you like it as well. You got your security, so you can actually lock out the BIOS with the password if you'd like. And then you get your save and exit. Next we'll go to overclock. So we've obviously overclocked the CPU to 5 GHz. And how we did that is, first you got to do is you put it in expert mode. And then it's actually a pretty easy overclock to get it to 5 GHz. The i9 900K is pretty stable, and I haven't gone past it yet. I've actually done it at 5 GHz and it is stable. We may be looking at doing another video on just overclocking the i9, but we'll do a quick rundown how we did it. So what we did was we did CPU ratio, which we did to all cores. We did the CPU ratio at 50, which brings it to 5 GHz. Ring ratio is at 47. We've done the CPU ratio mode at fixed, so it's fixed at 5 GHz. And then from down here, we have left the DRAM voltages and overclock the same. We have left it at 3200 MHz. So we have to click into settings here. And the CPU load line calibration, mode 3 was the best for us, was to be most stable, which we left it there. And the other thing you must change at the end is through CPU features, which is the Intel C state, which will disable that. And what that does is, if it's running on auto, or if it's running in enabled, disabled, or auto, what that does is when the CPU is not being used, say if it's in, let's say it's just been idle, the power management mode for Intel will come in, or the motherboard itself. By disabling this, the CPU will stay at 5 GHz. So when you need your speed or need your raw power, the 5 GHz will currently always be there. Going to M-Flash, so if you click on M-Flash here, it will ask you to reboot, and this is to upgrade the firmware of the board. And then you've got your OC profile, so you can actually save your profiles. And then you've got your hardware monitor. This is where you're able to config your fan curve or your pumps if you're running an overclock, or if you're running a full water cool loop, as many fans as you like, as long as they're plugged into the board. You can actually set a fan curve to hit a certain temperature. So obviously anything on this, well, how it's currently run on now at the moment, anything above 85 degrees, all fans will kick in at 100%. 70 degrees will be at 63%, 55 degrees will be at 38%, anything below 40 degrees Celsius will be at 13%. And then you've got your Board Explorer. So Board Explorer gives you a layout on the current motherboard now, so what's currently plugged in. So if you look at the back I/O, it will tell us, obviously we've got the AC Wi-Fi plugged in, we've got our LAN port plugged in, one of the USB ports is actually currently being used. Anything that's in highlighted in red or it's in grey. So anything in grey here, it will tell you, yep, it's not being used, but we've got our display port and HDMI not being used because obviously it's been plugged in directly to the graphics card. It tells you what CPU we currently got, how much RAM has been populated, and to what speed. If you go running a front USB header, this USB 3.0 will tell you what USBs are plugged in, video card, M.2, and your SATA. So my final thoughts on the Gaming Edge AC. So for the price of $209 Australian, the features you get with the board, which I did like the most, was AC Wi-Fi, RGB backlighting, has 2 M.2 slots, has a full array of ports. Obviously it is overclockable, and the easy to use UEFI BIOS that MSI have created. But for the price, you can't complain. MSI have targeted this board to be a mid-tier board. So being mid-tier with some high-end features, this is the reason why I'm giving the boards a thumbs up to purchase. Alright guys, I would like to thank once again MSI for sending out the Z390 Gaming Edge in the studio. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments below. What would be your next upgrade? If you haven't already, join our social media pages and our Discord channel. We have a fantastic community. It's actually growing really well, which I'm actually really happy with. So guys, all the links will be in the description below. And if you like this, hit the sub button. And guess what? I'll see you in the next one.